Have you ever said to yourself, "Man, I wish there was something I could do on a Sunday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that would just be a lot of fun?" Welcome to Project Talk. For those of you who do not know, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, as always, is my brother from another mother, James from Print and Play.
Hello, hello.
I look forward to the day when I can say, "I am Glenn from Fun King Garage," and with me, as always, is James from
Print and play retrospective.
Print and Play Retrospective.
I
I am drinking my water still. I want to thank those of you who used my affiliate link and bought yourself some water flavors as well. I know Felipe did. He sent me pictures of it when it arrived. Um, I hope that you guys enjoy them as much as I do. Um, we've been burning through them like crazy. I was just telling James I'm drinking at least 100 ounces of water a day.
and you know what? We got pineapple, strawberry, and grape crush, the squirts. They had them at the grocery store.
Oh, fantastic! If you
Yeah,
take
so
the orange and the pineapple and oh, it makes a great drink,
I will definitely give it a shot.
and it doesn't even get you intoxicated.
Oh well, never mind then.
Gets you intoxicated on life.
Eh.
So we don't have many watching. I don't know. Is this gig up? Are we just done for? I don't understand. But
Yeah.
the little watching icon inside, I don't know how accurate it is, inside of StreamYard. When we went live, it was 0, and then it jumped to 10, and then it went down to 6, then went to 7. Now it's back to 10. So I don't even really know what's going on. But shout out to Sergio HVAC A to Z. Told me to drink a sugarless Red Bull. It'll give me wings. Um, it would probably make me not sleep for days. Alan Osborne is here. Felipe is here. He says, "Wait, I need to get my drink." Clint is here. Mitch 3D. Scott McClellan. Hello, Scott. Loki has popped in. Hello. That's a cool 3D printer. Oh, look at that. You're getting compliments, and I get nothing, even though I got like 3D printers all around me.
This
Um,
is it's a literally sick 3D printer. It is not working properly. It's a buddy of mine. He brought it to me probably 6 months ago,
oh, that's the one you
and
were telling us about last week.
yeah. So he brought it to me 6 months ago, and it was like it's kind of like a knockoff of the CR10. It had this acrylic box that held all the electronics and stuff. So I took time and I designed most of the red parts that are, well, I mean, obviously not the cooler and stuff like that, but I designed it so the power supply and the board and everything are mounted underneath, and so he wanted something he could just carry around, and he's been using it since I sent it back to him, and then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, it just started as soon as you try to heat the, well, he says almost every time as soon as you try to heat the bed and the hot end at the same time, it just powers down, which I initially went, okay, well, it's going to be the power supply, but
Weak power supply.
yeah, but he's tried 3 different power supplies on it, and same difference. So
Hmm. Interesting.
yeah, so
Interesting.
that's what we're gonna hopefully work on today. I also have to replace the like the power plug. It had it so it was a disconnectable power cord, like on a computer, and the actual like switch mount fried as well. So
Huh. I got,
um,
I got an extra one. You need it?
I have 2 extra here's actually, but much appreciated. I got them.
Uh,
The extras are right here on top, as well as the extra 2 power supplies that he bought. One of which is a Meanwell. The Meanwell is installed now. Yeah. It wasn't successful, but it did mean well.
it did mean well.
Yep.
Oh. I'm being told by Sean that I should show the opening for the new video and tease it a bit, but I don't know if I want to give that away.
Why you
I
want them to
think
pay for it?
I think the people should have to wait. So let me give you guys a quick rundown of what's happening in my life. Obviously, in 3D printing, not much, um, but as far as Fun King Garage goes, the we'll call it the first draft of the first Fummins video is is complete. There's a little bit of audio change. We're going to change one of the songs in there. It was important to me to change it, and then just a couple of really fine polishing touches. And the first video should be ready to go. Hopefully, it'll go out this week. That'll be fun. And of course, that's on Fun King Garage. That's not here. Bob Karn says Mr. Nanigans is correct. I just don't know. I think you guys can wait. I'll see if I'm not even positive if Sean is watching or if he just sent that because he sent that to me in Messenger. But see if he thinks that first video can come out this week. Other big news. I was contacted by another YouTuber, and I'm not going to tell you guys who it is yet.
It wasn't me. I can say that.
No, it wasn't. Oh, that would be a heck of a collaboration. No, I was invited into a. I was going to say a pitfall, but in fairness, I was invited into a project that this particular YouTuber is shooting to. I don't want to give away too much. Shooting to go to an event in October of this year, and needed some enhancements on the vehicle. And so I happily obliged. Happily before I got in there. Now I'm kind of sorry. And you guys will see all that too. Those videos are going to filter in between the Funmans. You'll probably get a Funmans video, then you'll get the first video of this project, and then it'll just it'll salt and pepper in between. That way nobody gets bored anyway. But it was a day and a half. It was all day today and half of the day yesterday, wrenching on that thing, and I am wrecked. I am absolutely exhausted. I didn't eat anything, which is why I was late. I was trying to just cram some food down because I hadn't eaten anything all day, and if you're not aware, I'm diabetic, so you know how that goes. So but like literally I don't want to give away too much. I was bolting on the last bolt and shooting the outro and then walking in the house to get cleaned up at 4:00 today. And so I had to quick take a shower, and then I got out and I was still dirty. I was still dirty here because I had showered too fast. So I took a shower and then took a sink bath so that I could be clean for you guys. It's important, right? If you're a host, you got to be clean.
Got to be the host with the mostest.
That is all coming up, and we actually have at least 2, if not 3 more projects already lined up. And I will let one cat out of the bag. Bob said lots of time. Then it's only 1:45. The Funmans is almost done. Like really, really close to almost being done. And I know that's weird because you guys haven't seen any of the videos yet. But it's really, really close. I did have to send the computer back out to the tuner for a little bit of tweaky. But yeah. So it's been going good. Was that enough rambling? Oh, I do want to tell you another story though. Before I even let you answer the question if that was enough rambling. I bought a 45-degree silicone elbow for my intake. Okay? You familiar with a silicone elbow? They make them out of rubber too, but these ones are silicone. I got it yesterday. It came last night, like yesterday evening, so I didn't have a chance to touch it. So I grabbed it this morning on the way out to the garage and just kind of goofing around. I laid it where it was supposed to be. That thing was off by 15 degrees. It's a 45-degree elbow according to the label. It was about a 30-degree elbow. Like I thought my piping was wrong. I'm like, wow, that's way off. I put a protractor on it. It was off by a little under 15 degrees. we just can't have anything nice. So what is the plan here?
Well, right now I'm just trying to figure out, like, it definitely is acting like it's the power supply because I disconnected the MOSFET for the bed and then told it to heat. So like it, like as far as the board's concerned, it's powering the bed, and it doesn't reset that way. So I'm just gonna reconnect. This is gonna be annoying because there isn't really a lot of space on the desk. I have to constantly move the camera.
All right, so give us a rundown. You got a power supply, and you got a MOSFET for each heater.
The hot end is connected directly to the board because it's only 40 watts.
Okay.
But the bed is controlled through a MOSFET. And basically,
and you can heat one or the other with no issue.
Yeah, so it's screaming that it's the power supply, but he's tried 3 different power supplies on it. All of them are 360 watts, 24.
I would think it's got to be the main board.
So that's why I was testing it with the MOSFET disconnected because it's still turning on the it's still turning on the circuit. It's not a MOSFET that's built into the board, but I'm drawing a blank on the actual electronic component. But let's see.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So let's do preheat PLA. Everything's reconnected. So let's see if it resets.
Felipe said maybe the MOSFET is bad, which I would think that it wouldn't be if you can heat the bed by itself.
And we did replace the MOSFET.
Sergio said, I'm replacing the hard drive in a late 2006 iMac. Fun.
Oh yeah, tearing those apart is a pain. It's not heating the bed this time, so let's do cooldown before it triggers thermal runaway. Where's cooldown?
I'm wondering if the main board shares some circuitry between the 2 heaters, and maybe when you're turning them both on, they're shorting to each other. Like maybe
There we go.
Yep, it's out.
And so it goes off and it comes back up. There is a light on the power supply. I'm going to see if the light on the power supply goes out, because if the light on the power supply goes out, it means that the power supply is cutting power to stuff, right?
You don't have a multimeter?
He went through it already, and everything was propping 24 volts where it was supposed to be.
Well, I was just thinking you could hook a meter up to it and see if it's actually dipping. Tom Elrod slipping in, saying, "Hola, amigos." Wow, look at how cultured we are.
Yeah, no, the power's going out at the power supply.
It is actually dipping the power supply?
Yeah, the light on the power supply itself goes out.
In fairness, though, if you were to short something, regardless of where, the power supply would go into cut. It would go into safety cut.
Yeah, that's fair. So and here's the other thing: is occasionally it will heat, and he'll be able to print for an hour or 2 off of it, and then it eventually dies again during the run.
My money's on the main board.
I don't think I've got a spare.
I'm going to have to go refill my water.
Well, I'll be here.
Okay, entertain the people.
I said I'd be here. I didn't say I'd entertain anybody. I just said I'd be here.
I'm going to put you on full screen.
Oh, Lord. Well, I wish I had spent a little more time.
Accidentally, I'm going to put myself on full screen. Let's try that again. There you go.
Yeah, I wish I had spent more time customizing the wiring on this, because I could have done better. Let's see. It's mapping it out. Interesting. There's the wires to the back motor were bent up. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but hey, as I fix things, we'll try it and see if the problem eventually goes away. Can't imagine how motor wires would cause problems, but There she dips again. Glenn has a bit of dirt on his lip. Oh, let me see here. Sorry about the mic. It's dragging a little as I move around. I'm just trying to see. Oh, this is going to be a pain to disassemble. Looks like something's disconnected in there. Okay, let's slide the bed all the way back. I am keeping an eye on chat, so if anybody says anything and I don't respond, it's because I'm purely ignoring you. What an odd situation. Go ahead and yank the power for this so I don't electrocute myself. I know that would make a more entertaining stream, but... Well, you guys are either being real quiet or my chat is not updating. I would believe either. That's weird. HVAC A to Z with a $10 donation. And a flying, looks like an avocado. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Especially me. I don't, Glenn probably, but definitely me.
I walk in on that and I'm like, oh, thank you, Sergio. I'm still muted. Thank you, Sergio. It is greatly appreciated.
Oh, that's good. You appreciate it too, then.
I am exhausted. Oh, just walking down and back up the stairs. It's too much. Oh, I had to bring a snack. Bob Carnes says I have a bit of dirt on my lip. Yeah, I tried to wash it off and it didn't go. So listen, it's been something that I've talked about before. I cannot grow facial hair. So when the whole Corona thing was going on and everybody was on lockdown, I stopped shaving for like 7 months or whatever, and I had 5 o'clock shadow. So when the Fummins video drops, you will see a scene in there where I'm talking and I have facial hair, and it is just horribly a mess. Like it's so blotchy and patchy. So next time, take one step closer to the razor. So what I did this time when I went to clean up, I shaved everything but the mustache, and I know you guys can't see, but I got a little tiny Gerber patch right here, and I've decided I'm going to let it grow and see what happens. I figure I can either be a cop, a firefighter, or never mind.
Or something else.
Or something that's not appropriate for this channel. Oh, hey, first spammer of the day. Let's make sure that I'm tagging the right person in there. And report, and boom, gone. See ya. Don't even bother, bots. We won't let you survive.
Was it the same link as always?
I have one of those kind, yeah. I don't know if it was the same one.
So my only problem when I fix other people's printers, and I'm glad to try and help out where I can, is that I need this desk for filming. So if I can't fix this thing in a relatively decent amount of time, then I have to put it, mostly back together and shift it back over to a storage spot, and it's a pain in the butt. But my house does not really allow me enough space for doing both simultaneously. Gotta keep trying to point this camera at my face.
Someday when you're a big YouTuber, you'll have lots of money and you can buy a new house.
Oh, I don't think I'll ever be a big YouTuber, but can always hope. Okay, let's see, because I have another theory as to what might be causing the problem. So let's see. I think it's still going to crap out, but
You know, it'd be funny is if you find out it's the screen. Like the screen can't handle showing the heating of both elements.
I haven't even actually seen the bed increase in temperature yet. So I'm going to just set the bed to 60 and see what happens. What if it comes down to a cross connection between like the, you know, like the positive and negative on the bed and the positive and negative on the, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Like if one of them, the polarity was opposite the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why was it working and now it doesn't?
Is the bed heating? I can't. Okay, it's showing us. It's
Well,
showing.
Rover has slid in. Hello, Rover. Thank you for joining us. And you know, going back to Bob's comment about my lovely mustache, how does one grow a mustache if it isn't at some point this?
Okay, so the bed is definitely heating.
Okay, that's good.
What if the power supply has been undersized for this thing all along?
Or like sized like right at where it needs to be, but you'd think that it would. Why would it have worked ever?
Yeah, and he used it for quite a while, and it was originally off of a one of those cheap power supplies, and then he switched to the Meanwhile, which is 10 watts less, but
Okay, so no, well maybe. So the obviously the heat cartridge in the hot end and the bed are nothing more than big resistors, right?
Yep.
And they get hot. What happens if just over time the resistance has increased?
Well,
Or,
I can
no,
probably test for that.
The resistance would have had to decrease and
So
therefore more amperage. So maybe the power supply was always like right at the limit. You know what I'm saying? And then either the heat cartridge or the bed has technically gone bad. Like the resistance has dropped on it, and now it's drawing more amperage than the power supply is putting out. Oh, Andy has joined us. Hi, Andy. It's nice to have you back in a stream.
I don't actually know what the resistance. Does anybody know what the resistance value of a 40 watt, 24 volt heater cartridge is, by any chance? Well, I don't have an easy way to Google things right now because I'm using my phone for chat and I don't have a keyboard over here.
$40 12 volt. No, 2440 should be approximately 14.4 ohms.
Okay. Do I have to remove it from the board to test it? I guess so, right? Well, no,
yeah.
the circuit should be open right now if the
at least disconnect one leg.
Okay. I don't know if I have a screwdriver small enough here to undo it, but let's find out.
Rover says beard's over 5 inches, hair just over 12 inches, haven't cut shaved since the virus popped up. Yeah, I finally got to the point where I couldn't handle it and I had to shave it off.
Oh, I need a small flathead screwdriver. Let me see what I've got. Somewhere in the past week, I lost my, the handle for my multi-bit screwdriver, which, as you can imagine, is super super awesome. But let's see what I've got here.
Voltage times amperage is power. Amperage times resistance equals voltage.
Let's see.
I got to break out a calculator. So if it's 24 divided by 40.
Okay, well, got the heater cartridge pulled. Let's see what happens if I...
Yeah, it's a riveting live stream. Can't really see you, and I'm googling things. So 24
here.
volt.
There you go. Just let me know when you can't see stuff. It's been a pain to keep track of.
And you said it's 40 watt.
I believe it's 40 watt. It could be 30 watt, but like we can. So I don't think I've ever actually done a resistance test, but I should be able to just set my multimeter to 20k ohms and touch the two contacts and see what the readout is, right?
20k ohms would be huge. I mean, it's literally 14 ohms. Or if it's 30, then it'll be 19 ohms.
It's showing 15. Between 15 and 19, it's fluctuating slightly.
15 to 19 is pretty. It's a pretty big fluctuation.
Let me see here. Maybe it's just the way I'm. No, now it's steady between. Part of the problem is that I'm holding. I think.
Carl got censored because he said Naples. That's a town in Florida, you know, Naples. It's down by Fort Myers.
15.3 steady now.
15.3.
Yeah.
So that's I would say that's within tolerance.
Okay. So next I'll test the bed.
That would be a 40 watt.
Okay. So next let's test the bed.
Now I'm curious. Let's try something first.
Okay.
So you said it's what, 15 point what?
15.3, I think is what it read at.
24 volts. So that is, yeah, that's actually less watts. It's only 37 watts.
But we're not overdrawing is the bigger question.
No, we're technically underdrawing. Sorry for eating on the stream. I know some people hate that, but
okay, and then the bed is reading 2. Hold on.
Mitch said, what controller board on that printer? I'm wondering if the MOSFETs are bad. Like the MOSFETs on the board could be bad.
I mean, it's possible, but I feel like with the like they are turning on, the light goes on, and I can run them independently, and it's okay.
Right, but they may be sharing something on the board that once you start pulling across both of them.
I mean, it's possible. The bed is 1.8.
1.8 ohms?
Yeah. I appreciate your help, by the way, with the calculator and whatnot.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? All right, so that's 1.8 ohms at 24 volts is 13 amps and 320 watts.
Well, that would do it.
That would do it. And so you said it's a 340 watt power supply?
350. Yep, that would definitely do it.
So there you go. Because we were, what, 30, almost 40 watts. and then 320 watts. So it's over the. So okay, want to have some fun? Do you have more than do you have multiple power supplies?
I do. I was actually considering that we could wire 2 of them up, and
Yep,
it would
just
probably
make
be
sure you
enough to
tie
run
the
it.
grounds together.
Yeah. I'm gonna check because the resistance could be increased if the
Mitch said
connections underneath there.
1.8 ohms is really low. Might be a short on the traces. See, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking that board.
But the resistance value isn't from the board. The resistance value is straight from the bed.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, I didn't mean board. I meant the bed.
The bed. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is cry openly. I'm just going to remove the bed so I can get a better look at the underneath. Because, well, the resistance would be higher if the soldering was the issue, like if there was bad leads to the board. Or bad leads to the bed, you know what I mean?
Right. Now,
You got me doing it too now.
I'm reading a thread on reprap.org, and it says, I have 2 heated beds, both MK2A, one etched copper from a reputable company, and the other a cheap copper plated one, copper plating in the holes and copper pads. They both measure approximately 2 ohms resistance.
Okay.
And then he said, aren't those heat beds supposed to measure about 1.2 ohms? So actually 1.8 isn't really that far off. But it would still answer the question of why did this thing work and now it doesn't.
I wonder if these springs have bitten in and shorted somewhere.
Because
no,
if that thing had a lower resistance, like if the resistance goes down, the ampere or the power consumption is going to go up.
Well, I think maybe the problem right here. It's I don't know if I can get this in camera. Let me see. Look at the subpar. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in if I can. And there.
Wow. So measure the resistance right there at those solder points.
Between the wire and the solder point?
No, just the board, like skipping the wire.
Oh,
measure
right.
The actual
no,
resistance.
Sorry. That would make more sense. This is going to be a pain in the buttocks to test, but let's find out. Okay, resistance. $1.3.
Oh,
that would be the.
With it being lower, that's worse. Because it was 1.8. So now you go down to 1.3, it's going to draw even more current. See, 1.3 would put us consuming 443 watts. Mitch said the bed PCB, just long traces if the coating wore off and some screw is touching.
Yeah, none of the screws that are on the board come anywhere close to the traces. They're all inset. So I'm just checking. Yeah. I still feel like I'm going to resolder that anyways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That looked horrible.
But this bed might be. I wonder if the.
And you've got at least one wire disconnected from the board for that, right? From the main board.
It's connected through the MOSFET, and the MOSFET's currently disconnected, so it should be fine. Although I guess technically,
I would still unhook at least one wire to get a proper reading because you may have.
You're right.
You may have components on the.
They're sharing whatnot.
Yep.
Okay. You're keeping me honest.
It's my job. When people say, "What do you do?" I say, "I keep James honest."
I keep James honest.
Honest. I just keep James.
Okay. Get those bad boys.
Is that a 12 by 12 bed?
I think it's slightly bigger than a 12 by 12. I think it's 330 by 330.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I should have said a 300 by 300. I didn't mean to use 12 by 12, folks.
Okay, I think that should do it. So let's do one more little Borg test. Get it? Resistance is futile. It's reading 1.4.
1.4.
Yeah.
Is that through the wires or just the board?
Right to the board.
Okay. Just for giggles, do the wiring again. Yeah, 1.4. That's a lot. I mean, it's low resistance, but it's going to be a lot of
draw.
lot
And it's
of
not,
draw.
and it wasn't even heating that fast. Go figure. What a pain in the butt.
In fact, at 1.4, that's 411 watts.
Okay, well, let's see.
I wonder if that board just went bad, if that bed went bad.
Usually when stuff like that starts to go bad, nah, the wiring is reading 1.5.
Okay.
Ouch. But that means
that's 384 watts.
Usually when stuff starts to go bad, the resistance increases, right? Like as it's thermally damaged?
Well, yes and no. Like it can happen that way, but if it is shorting out, like depending on if it's one trace, I'm trying to figure this in my mind before I say it out loud. So if it's one trace, like a big like wave like this, and it gets to the end, that's going to create one set of problems. But if it's anything running in parallel like this, and one was to break, that's going to change your resistance. It's going to increase your resistance. Because if you had, say, two 10K resistors and you put them in parallel, you now have 5K of resistance.
Yeah, we're getting
one break, bink, it goes back to 10K.
Yeah, we're getting 1.5 constant now.
Well, that's good. That's good that we have a constant reading. There's John slipping in here. Hey, Sean, the people want to know when we're releasing that first video.
Okay, so question. Did you find out what the actual resistance value is supposed to be for this bed? It is a MK2A 300 millimeter.
Okay, it's an MK2A 300 millimeter. So it is a 12 by 12.
Yeah, I think the bed is slightly bigger than that, but the actual heat, like the tracing, is 12 by 12 because there's a border around it.
Clarity of the bed doesn't matter. I try to measure resistance and calculate what current and wattage. I'm going to have to filter through a bunch of garbage, but. So this person says with that board, 24 volt, their multimeter is reading 2.2 ohms of resistance. I'll keep digging and find other
collaborating,
because that would drop the power consumption to 261 watts. Let's see. Here is Ziltech selling the 300 by 300 MK2A heated bed, $29.95. If anybody wants to know. And the resistance on the 24 Well, it says the resistance is 1.5 to 2.2 ohms.
So
That's huge. That is a huge swing. Oh, Sean said when I'm done doing I forgot he's got a job this week. Gosh, stupid paying gigs. So probably next week. Don't put a question mark on that.
So his options are for this one, we could run 2 power supplies, and the bed can have a dedicated power supply.
Well, I don't even know if it would have to be dedicated. If you just run them in parallel.
But I mean, since I've got the MOSFET and I can pass power directly from the one power supply, I might as well.
That's true, but still make sure you tie the grounds together.
Yeah, I'm just going to daisy chain the power from one to the other. Like there's no need for
running the power supplies in parallel. Like if you tie the positive to positive and the negative to negative.
No, that's not even. I mean, I'm the AC power.
No, but tie the DC grounds together.
Yes. Well, you mean the negatives?
Yes.
They're going to be isolated though.
No, you never want to do that. You can isolate the positive, but tie your negatives together.
Okay.
That's so people don't die. Actually, I think it's to stop feedback, but.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the 24 volts on these things is going to.
Hey, 24 volts is enough to kill you.
If the amperage is high enough.
Just got to get the amperage high enough, yeah. And remember, 1 amp will kill you with enough voltage.
I don't understand why this worked for so long. Because like it's still within spec, so I can't imagine it's actually suddenly changed all that much.
But is it? Because now here is an MK2A 300 by 300 for sale on Amazon, and the resistance is 3 to 4.5 ohms. Does it say on there what the wattage is?
On the bed? No.
No, of course
not. It
not.
just has a link to the RepRap wiki, and that is it.
What is the
Oh, it's just the PCB_heatbed_MK2.
No. What is the link to the wiki?
That's what I'm saying. Is it like that's how the link ends off. It's reprap.org/wiki/PCB_heatbed_MK2.
It would help if I put the G in org. I'm a moron.
How did I lose a spring? They were all on there. Ugh.
There's currently no text in this page.
That feels like par for the course. Golf references. I love golf. I always shoot the highest score. Okay, well, come on.
Warning, be careful where you buy PCB heat beds from. Mitch said 1 to 1.2 ohm, 12 volt, 3. Yep, that's what I seen on Amazon, Mitch. I guess it depends on the voltage you're using and what series of trace is used. Voltage differentials in DC cause a ground loop, I think. There you go, ground loop. Check the actual voltage. Well, that was checked, right? You said that.
Yeah, he checked it beforehand. But like the fact that the calculator is saying that this is what it should be drawing, and the behavior all along has been leading me to believe it was a power issue. It is a power issue. It just turns out there's nothing wrong with the power supply. Which, I mean, seemed like it should be pretty obvious after you go through 3 different power supplies with the same issue. Well, and I keep catching my microphone on stuff, which is probably very pleasant to listen to.
Oh, it's not that bad.
What time is it? Oh, we still got over an hour left. Okay, I can try and daisy chain the two together. Oh, I can zoom this out again. Why am I so bad at technology? I feel like a Fun King idiot. Get it? I get it. And I just triggered the the not safe for children filter, so you just lost your 23 cents of sponsorship money.
I say Fun King all the time. I used to have to go through Xander's closed captioning when he was doing his Xander Sing Thursday. I'd have to go through the closed captioning and fix it all.
Oh, why would it say?
Because it would hear the other F word.
Oh, Food King 3D.
Right, Food King. Sergio says, Glenn, if Earth is a go this year, will you be there? So I am going to try very hard to make it to both Murph and Earth this year. But they may be my last ones.
I thought you were joking when you said that last week.
Nope, dead serious.
If things go well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so the thing is 2 weeks a year of travel. I know it's only a weekend event, but like I have to have a couple of days to get there and a couple of days to get home, and there's a lot. Like it burns up all my vacation time, and then there's no vacation for the family. And believe it or not, the family does not feel that a Rep Festival is vacation. So, but yes, I am actually going to try to make it to both of them. And it's not to say that I won't go to one or the other in the future, but I am praying desperately that by the end of this year, that my whole entire schedule will be about the automotive circuit. I'd love to get to SEMA this year, but
I'm just looking for some additional wire so I can do some connecting here and see what happens. But like, I'm 90% sure. Like, I've been positive it's been a power issue since pretty much the beginning.
well, it just screams power issue.
Yep.
And again, I mean, if the power supply was already, we'll say it was undersized, because you should always have a safety margin in there. And just from usage, I mean, resistance is going to change.
Now to find wire. What I've generally been using, which not everybody's going to agree with, but I mean, it is a situation where it's good copper wire. I've been using copper speaker wire, which isn't great for, showing polarity and whatnot, but it's what I've been able to readily get.
Well, speaker wire, usually one of the jackets will be tagged.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like when you've got ground and stuff like that, you usually want 3 colors.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's generally made life easier, but I can't find my spool of it. But I usually have like a roll of 14 and a roll of 16 gauge, which is overkill for the wattage we're talking about now and the distances we're running. But anyways. I guess I could always give him the bet off the Tronxy, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want that either.
What if the curse travels with it? Oh,
Right.
I bet you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm positive I saw the wiring over here, but
my wife said if we go to Murph this year, we have to fly, but I don't mind the 9-hour drive. Well, for me, it's a 17-hour drive, and it's not that I mind the drive either. I mean, I end up driving the whole way, but It's a long way, and it takes a lot of time.
Well, darn it. Yeah, because if I can get back to him and be like, here's where the issues are coming from. Here's the solutions I can offer you. Because there's plenty of space for me to mount another power supply under the bed.
Do you have another bed just laying around?
No.
Hmm.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, because that would have been a good test just to wire it in.
Yeah, I don't have one lying around. I could test the resistance on the Tronxy, but that's also a pain in the ass to get to, and so I don't really want to do that either.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah, sorry. Pain in the donkey is what I'm saying.
That's every time Zach yells at me for using the A word. I'm like, he's talking about a donkey. Mitch said I would replace all the Coke Zeros for Pepsi when people aren't looking.
I mean, as long as you're using a Diet Pepsi product, because if you're replacing somebody's Diet Pop with regular pop, you might kill them.
You may cause some problems.
I feel like I literally saw this roll of wire yesterday. I was so excited to get the Prusa Mini, and I don't think I've printed anything off of it yet, other than the test prints that we did that first day.
That's usually the way it goes.
Still excited to have it. I don't want to cut apart another because I could, cut another power and then another power cord apart and have two for it, but I don't really want to. I don't want to waste another power cord. And I don't have one that's already cut.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, Mitch, to me tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Of course, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, it's just diet Dr. Pepper. I read an article. The reason that soda companies, pop companies, are changing the name from diet to zero is because millennials don't like the word diet.
I mean, you gotta do what you can do.
Sorry. I mean, for an entire for them to change the name of something because a generation doesn't like the word diet, like that's crazy. But whatever. Someday they'll change it to something else because somebody doesn't like the word zero.
They'll change it to hero from zero.
That's right.
I just found a chunk of wire, so I guess we can proceed. I'm pretty sure this is gonna work. So. Oh, I don't want to have to unwire all this. I looked at it and was like, no. No, I don't want to deal with that today. Okay, so you're saying I need to connect the negatives or I'm going to end up killing somebody.
It'll cause a ground loop.
And I could just, I don't have to, I could just connect the positives and the negatives together, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I could connect them up in parallel versus series.
Yep, absolutely.
Although technically the other one isn't really series either.
No, you don't want to connect them in series.
Because that's going to give you 48 volts.
Right.
Well, I don't think you can do that with these. I think it just shorts. Big wheels keep on turning.
Oh, who's that handsome guy?
Oh, is he behind you?
Well, he's in a different window. Oh,
Honest question. Why don't you just start hosting these as Fun King Garage if you want to start making the transition?
because I don't have enough to live stream yet. Don't you have to have like 1,000?
No, I think you need 100.
Oh, is it only 100?
Yeah.
Okay, well there was your quick tease. I'll give you a little more tease. This is what you get right here. Oh, that's all you get.
Fun teas in 3D.
Thanks for playing.
Bye. Have a beautiful time. Yeah, because if this works, I can always mount the second power supply on the other side, and he can use it that way until he replaces the bed as a temporary measure. Because he's decided to keep the extra power supply that he ordered as a backup. So it's not going to be a backup. It's going to be an integral part of the whole solution.
Well, I mean, the easiest fix, not necessarily the cheapest, but the easiest fix is to order a power supply that's bigger.
Yeah, he could order like a 500-watt power supply and
or order a bed that's the right size.
So I'm doing this repair based on what I've got my hands on today, and he can decide if that's the route he wants to go, because he also lives 2 hours away from me. So like the exchanges that we do aren't always the easiest, you know.
Yeah.
But let's see, I need one more length of wire that is the same size, more or less. You saw the real old IBM laptop that I got, eh? The one with the dual floppy drives.
Floppy drives, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that I'm fixing this for, he's the one that found that for me and got me a ridiculous deal on it.
Nice.
I paid $75 for it, which on eBay is about, I think, 1/4 to 1/5 of what they go for.
Nice.
And the guy threw in another terminal for an extra $50, which I don't think I can actually do anything with. But I was like, well, making the drive anyways, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to say no to stuff.
Yeah. Especially when because originally he wanted like 200 and something for all of it. And then it was like, no, I'll throw this in I'll give you the whole set for 125. So.
Nice. Yeah, Mitch said, is this a Fun King Garage video? And Sean said, wow, your director of photographer is awesome. Your director of photography is awesome. I don't know. He's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. He likes me to do things like 3 and 4 and sometimes even 5 times.
Wow. I was impressed that you could count that high.
And then Mitch said, it's been a year. I forgot that channel exists. It's not been a year.
Double check before you say that with certainty.
Well, I'm trying to think when I bought the Dodge to start the Fummins project, which it might have been a year. I bought the Dodge in end of July, early August. So, but I guess I had it for a while since, because like we went through a phase where Fun King Garage was going to change formats a couple of times, and then things fell through, and then Mitch said Sean could make anyone look good on camera. Well, I figure that's the only way people are going to watch it. They don't watch it for this.
Come on. Power supply's a little bit of a tight fit, I think.
Roses are red, violets are blue. James is having issues fixing a printer when he could have bought one new.
It ain't mine, and I'm not buying somebody else a printer. That's for darn sure. Can you imagine if the community responds, like as I know this was a joke, so I want to, but can you imagine if the community response is, your printer stops working, buy a new printer? Printer companies would be the richest companies in the world because
they stop working constantly.
You usually can't set up a new printer without something stopping working at least once.
Yeah.
So.
Mitch said the Maxima video is 9 months old. See, so it's not a year old.
You doy.
You all right, boy?
Is that Stink Butt Paul?
It is.
Hey, Xander.
Hey, so can I talk about your videos? Where are your videos at?
They stopped showing
The short?
yeah, they stopped showing. I need to make another one.
Where did it end up, though?
Let me check.
Xander released his first YouTube short, and like it went up in views very, very quickly. It was an emotional roller coaster for 24 something hours.
Do you want me to ruin it for him?
So 1,200 views in like 24 hours.
And then
Like-
it just stops.
3 days.
Oh, 3 days?
But it picked up on the third.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And then he
And then
did
just- Go ahead.
what was that?
I was gonna say, and then it just stopped cold turkey, right?
Yeah.
That
He
is,
said that they stopped showing it.
yeah, that's how they run. You get a constant influx and then nothing after that.
So yeah, so he's got to make some more. So if anybody has any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. No, and then he did one of his regular skits, which has a character named Mr.
Madden?
Mr. Madden, which cracks me up. If you guys aren't watching his videos, you have to go to youtube.com/peglegpaul. So the Mr. Madden skit, I don't really want to give it away because you guys need to go watch it.
You can say what it's.
But Mr. Madden has a passion for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
have
sure
been watching them, just FYI.
what's that?
I have been watching them.
Okay. So and you know, the world may or may not know that Tom Brady has recently retired from the Fool's Ball. So Xander made a video about Mr. Madden being upset about Tom Brady retiring. So just on a whim, I went on Twitter and tweeted it to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady went in and commented on the video. No, okay, that didn't happen, but I did tweet it out to Tom Brady just in the hopes, you know. But Carl said voice changing. Oh God, yes. Never mind. Yeah, sometimes I hear him downstairs talking to the wife, and I wonder who that man is in my house.
Oh boy. Jiminy Jillikers.
Finally got on
1.23,
Yeah.
so 1,230. So,
Took me forever to get
oh, subscribers, you mean? Yeah.
subscribers,
Well, it's just funny that you have 1,200, subscribers, and you got 1,200 views to your short.
It's like everybody that subscribed watched it.
That's impossible.
Improbable, perhaps.
Oh,
Okay. So I'm trying to, in case this ends up being the way it stays, more or less, I'm trying to wire things so I don't have to unwire everything to get it hooked back up. You know what I mean?
right.
I don't have to deal with that mess if I can avoid it.
You're
so-
not gonna like test it first and then.
Well, no, because it's just like it's literally just a matter of me running wires through the proper holes so
Oh,
that I can print stuff off that'll hold it in place after the fact and wraps around said wires. So
Sean said the Maxima video was a weird transition thing. It wasn't a weird transition thing. It's where the channel was going to go originally.
and then you
Sean
decide
was like, "You should have an automotive channel." I'm like, "No, I want to have just a general garage video channel." Yeah, now it's an automotive channel.
you're better off with the focus. I think my retro channel is growing slowly, but I think the one thing that's proven is that because like I post a video on it and it's got 550 subscribers and the videos get like 200 to 300 views.
Yeah,
So my main channel, I post a video and it's got almost 6,000 subscribers and the views are very similar in terms of the counts.
yeah, I know how that goes.
So
If it wasn't for the 16 people that are in here watching us right now.
This is why we love each and every one of you.
That's why we love each and every one of you for tuning in.
So what are you going to say instead of print on?
You know, I kicked that around for a long time.
Drive
And if
on?
there was an answer to that question, I wouldn't tell you anyway. But I mean, I would tell you, but I wouldn't tell it publicly until the first video comes out. But I decided that that I wasn't going to do that. I at one point, and we probably won't even use it, but at one point at one of the filming one of the outros, I said something along the lines of, remember, how did I put it? Remember, the item that you're going to need is the one that you threw away. So keep your stuff, or something along those lines, because it's always funny to me. As soon as you throw something away, you need it. But no,
Did you
we
ever
have
watch
something-
Sorry, go ahead.
we have something much better for the end of the videos, and I'm absolutely not giving it away, but
Except for to me.
probably not. I'll probably make you wait too. No, I'll tell you later. But it's going to make it where even if you don't care about the video, you're going to at least stay and watch the outro. At least I hope so.
Print on.
Well, I was going to go with like wrench on, and then I thought, nah.
Okay, you need me to tie the negatives together or my life is going to end.
Right. Well,
Okay.
maybe not your life, but possibly the printer's life.
So here is my feeling on the situation, and I as a non-electrical expert, so I'm entirely possibly incorrect on this, but doesn't the MOSFET completely isolate the bed from the rest of the system?
In theory, yes.
So if that works properly, and I just had the power supply connected to the MOSFET, and all it was powering was the bed, then it should be fine.
No, because here's the thing. You're still that MOSFET is still connected to the main board for the triggering.
Right, but the two circuits should be completely isolated. Otherwise, you'd end up with potential
They
draw.
should be, but I don't necessarily know that they are.
No, I'm saying all this in the in theory mode.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the word MOSFET out of there and put relay in there, and you think about how a standard relay works,
A relay would be completely isolated. It's non-solid state is what you're talking about, where there's actually a physical,
like
and
a
it's-
physical switch, yeah, like
Yeah.
an automotive relay.
yeah, and it's magnetically controlled,
right.
right? Yeah. But
So that would, in theory, be isolated as well, but you can still pick up, inductance and feedback and.
so all this to say, I am doing it. I just like to go through the electrical theory behind stuff while we're doing it. I'm not disagreeing with the
Oh no,
the
that's
reason.
fine. No, I actually always encourage people to challenge me, because I might think I know what I'm talking about, and then I find out I don't. There's never a day that I climb out of bed that I don't want to learn something new anyway. So Mitch had a great idea that I should end the videos with, may you find your 10mm sockets.
Right where you think you left them.
It's always the 10 that goes missing.
Okay, so that should give power to both. And then this
He
is
said
going to be
hook the power supply directly to the bed and check the current with the meter. Well, then you'd have to actually hook the bed to the meter, and then the meter to the power supply.
and I don't think my meter is going to handle having that much power going
No,
through.
that's a pretty high amperage draw.
So I'm
And
gonna
most home meters don't.
I will respectfully decline that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I just got a few.
At 2.2 ohms of resistance, 24 volts, it's 10 amps, almost 11 amps of draw. And most home ones will have a 10 amp setting, but that will cook it, because most meters suck anyway.
Yeah, mine was cheap. I actually don't even know if mine has a current draw mode on it, if we're being completely honest, now that I think about it. Shoot.
Touch it with your tongue and see if it tinkles. See if your tongue tingles and the rest of you tinkles.
I mean, I don't think I would ever know if the rest of me tinkled.
Well, it
I
depends
think-
on which end of the power supply you put your tongue on.
We I had a habit of, and I mean, I would still do it again, but I'm more cautious now. I had a habit of buying power bars and extension cables at the dollar store for like low draw items. You know, you can get a power bar there that's good for 10 amps. So if you're just using it for some LED lights or whatever, it's fine. Well, the one time we went in case like, oh, check it out, they have these cute extension cords and they're like rainbow colored and they've got like the fiber, like they've got a fiber wrap around them, so they're you know, kind of pretty looking. I'm like, okay, we'll get one of those. And the way the plating was done on the inside of the plug, I don't remember exactly what caused the problem, but at one point I went to plug something in and it actually pushed the contacts out the back. It was one of those extension cords where you've got two on one side and one on the other.
Right.
So I'm holding it in my hand and I'm plugging something into it, and it pushed the other two back out into my palm
Wow.
and shorted them against my hand. My entire hand twitched and I flung it, and it was like involuntary, and I tripped the breaker. And Kayleen heard the zzz and was screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Had no idea what had happened. And it's like, yeah, I think we're done with dollar store power supplies now.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
It's shocking, is what it is.
It is shocking.
I was really bad at buying all sorts of stuff at the dollar store.
I like the dollar store. I mean, there's stuff at the dollar store that is quite a
Worth
good
it.
deal.
It's quite
And
worth a
there's
dollar.
stuff that's just not. So I don't know if you guys have Dollar Tree specifically, but
We do. It's $1.25 here, though.
well, it is here now too.
It might be more than $1.25 here then.
I actually refer to it as the $1.25 tree now, but they have a cleaner that it's called LA's Totally Awesome. Comes in a bright orange bottle, and you know it's $1.25 a bottle for a big spray bottle.
Would you
And
say it's
that
totally
stuff-
awesome?
It is some pretty phenomenal cleaner. Now you got to be careful, like don't let it dry on a painted surface because it'll eat the paint. But I use that like for degreasing and stuff, and it's good stuff for $1 a bottle. Well, now $1.25 a bottle. So, and then I also buy like their kitchen dishwashing brush, and they have a small, like it's a really small toilet bowl brush. I wouldn't want to clean a toilet with it; it's too tiny. But it is fantastic for like cleaning out the inside of radiator hoses or intercooler piping or in the holes like the inside of a mag wheel. It's good for getting in there to get brake dust out. And at $1 a piece, you know, you use them a couple times and then they get gunked up, you throw them away. Because we live in a throwaway world.
We live in a society.
A society of throwaways.
Out you come. And then
Michael
we're going
Castell
to...
said we use the black streaks off our camper by adding it to a 5-gallon bucket. Absolutely. But do not let it dry on there. I was cleaning the black streaks off of my enclosed trailer, which has got the metal siding on it. And it was where it was parked. It was sunny on one side, you know, and shaded on the other. And I sprayed it on there. And by the time I got the pressure washer going to rinse it off, you can see where it had started to eat the paint. I was hoping Barbie Girl lyrics were coming. What?
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Hey, easy.
Oh, you don't care about this channel anymore anyways.
I still care about money. Oh, nope. Got another
bot.
Another bot.
Sometimes when... Oh, can't do that one either then.
Bye-bye.
Wiring this is a lot of fun. He lied.
Block. Yeah, so this year was the first year that I have to file my YouTube money on Google money on taxes.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. This is
you guys supported me too well this year. And of course,
Okay.
Google doesn't withhold anything for taxes. So,
They do in Canada.
well, maybe I don't have it filled out right. I don't know.
I
But,
think, anyways. I'll see when the form arrives, but I think they're keeping a percentage. Maybe I misunderstand.
Yeah, no. I mean, for anybody who truly wants to know, Google money for the whole year, including all super chats and all of that stuff that you guys have donated over the year, was just over $1,200. I'll hold your YouTube money to help you evade taxes. Yeah, so ad revenue, super chats, all that was about $1,200 this year, and that was like crazy to me. But now I got to pay taxes on it. Oh, I have a hole in my finger. That's probably not good. It was a little sore, and then I realized that I'm missing a chunk of flesh.
Well, that happens from time to time.
Yeah, mainly when you turn wrench. I had a doctor's appointment this last week, and my doctor had asked me, I have this owie here on my hand, and he's like, "How'd you get that?" And I'm like, "I'm turning wrench." And he's like, "Well, how'd you get that one?" I'm like, "I'm turning wrench."
I can play this game all night.
Like, I don't do a project where I don't, get cut open or whatever. And I said, the worst part is I don't even realize it until like the next day or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, where'd I get that from?
Turning wrench. I'm
So
helping.
I just want you to know, I just drank that whole water again.
Well, it's good for you.
I know.
Except for you can actually drink too much water.
That is true. You can get water poisoning. Yeah, let me do a shout out for a new YouTuber that I've been watching. And you should go and subscribe to him because he's really good, and he doesn't have that many subscribers yet. He's only got 5.5 million. His name is Mr. Ballin, Ballan, Mr. Ballin, John Ballin, and just say the wife beats you. So if you are a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious in story format, you'll have gone to the right place. And he uploads 3, 4, and even 5 times a week. He says that in every video. But it's really cool the way he does it. Like, he's got like these different series where he talks about people who've gone missing and have been found in like impossible places, and people who've gone missing that were never found. And just like, I don't know, it's just really good. But it's just him telling the stories, and he's a good storyteller. And it's great if you need something to listen to, but you don't necessarily have the opportunity to watch and you just want to listen. Good stuff. So check him out. Tell him I sent you. He has no idea who I am. But yeah, that's my current rabbit hole that I've fallen down. And he's got a ton of videos. And he's got his YouTube channel. He's got Mr. Ballin Shorts on YouTube as well. He's got Instagram, TikTok, Discord. Like, he's just like everywhere, and I don't know how he keeps up with all of that, but 5.5 million subscribers.
That many people can't be wrong.
Yeah, I'm wondering how it took me so long to find the guy.
I always get surprised when I find a channel that completely matches up with my interests, and then you look and it's got 1 million plus or even 100,000 plus subscribers. It's like, YouTube, your algorithm sucks if you're just bringing this to me now.
Right. Gosh, live in the now.
They got to learn from TikTok's algorithms, I guess.
Michael Cassell said, my hands are always beat up from doing work. Only needed stitches on my pinky once from slicing it, turning a wrench. Stitches? What are stitches? Stitches just means that you need some toilet paper and electrical tape. You'll be fine. Glenn Hook said I should be outside turning a wrench. Need to replace my oil pressure sensor. Well, depending on what vehicle that is, it could be a really easy job or it could be a nightmare. Misty 3D, what was the channel again? It is Mr. Ballin. Let me see if I can find you a link to it. Just, just to be that much nicer than I already am.
Okay. Well,
I believe it is youtube.com/MRBALLAN.
so
Oh, that's not it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've got everything wired, and really the only way to find it if I've got it hooked up right is to plug it in and see what happens.
Do it. Let's see what happens.
I'm just reconnecting.
Maybe it's ALLEN. Yeah, it's here. I just give you the link.
Just gotta make sure the wire for the hot end is, yeah, it's not going in all the way.
There we go. youtube.com/MRBALLEN, Mr. Ballin. He is a former Navy SEAL, so he's got some stories in there about being a SEAL, which is pretty awesome. Mitch's get stitches. Sergio said, I know of one person who died from drinking too much water. Yeah, it's happened on like in situations of like youth football or youth sports and stuff where the kids are just really thirsty and they're drinking. There's a story, and maybe I never got to finish that story on how Mr. Ballin came up, but he had a story about a radio station, I think it was doing a contest.
Oh, is that the one for the Wii? Or I think it also happened with a virtual reality
I think it was the Wii, yeah. And
it was hold your Wii for a Wii.
There you go, yeah. And they just kept drinking water, and the woman ended up dying.
For her kids to have a Wii.
Michael Cassell said, I was made to get them by my LPN wife. Well, that makes sense. Otherwise, I'd just super glue it myself. I only went after wrapping it in a paper towel and electrical tape before finishing the job 4 hours later. There you go. I like electrical tape. Some people use duct tape, but I like the electrical tape because of the stretch. So, when you just hold the cut back together and you stretch the electrical tape around it, it generally does a pretty good job.
Okay, come on.
I also don't like needles. Like, I really don't like needles. I guess needles are fine. I don't like needles that poke me.
Plugging these into the MOSFET is going to be the hardest part because the MOSFET's right back against the bed. This isn't the original MOSFET that was installed here, so it doesn't line up the way I intended when I designed the parts.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. He does not have 5.5 million subscribers. He only has 5.33 million subscribers.
Oh.
His total lifetime views, 886 million views. That's insane.
Okay, so here's my other concern doing this. So we are addressing the power issue. Did we calculate? So how many amps does that mean it's drawing? Do you remember?
It's going to draw the same amount of amperage.
No, I know, but
I
don't remember what the specific number was.
For the bed?
Yeah.
We said that was 1.5 ohm, right?
Yes.
That is 16 amps.
Okay, I think this MOSFET's supposed to be good for 25, so.
Okay.
But it also might only be good for 15.
Sergio said magic smoke time.
Everything is hooked up. All the wiring is down low, so nothing should hit. If anything goes wrong, tell Kay I love her. I need to rotate this around enough, though, that we can see what's going on.
Does that mean, like, if anything goes wrong, like if it burns up the power supply, I should...
Yeah, you should just flood her with a message that says, hey, Jay wanted you to know before he just did what he did. Okay, well...
We can't see, your head's in the way.
Okay, well, both power supplies have power.
That's a good thing.
There's a little squeal. I'm gonna try it
Squeak
anyways.
like a printer.
See what happens.
Mitch said we should record this for evidence. I am. It'll be uploaded later for your reviewing pleasure.
Come on. It did not start to preheat. Sorry. I just realized. I guess we can move this around a little bit. That's probably better, right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Preheat PLA, preheat PLA. The fans on both power supplies have kicked up now.
I almost feel like the second power supply is really nothing more than putting a Band-Aid on it, though.
Oh, it's entirely possible the bed is on its way out and it's going to get worse.
Then you'll have to add a third power supply.
When will it ever end? Never.
Glenn Hogue said, when I was young, I would regularly, every 2 weeks, voluntarily get 2 needles stuck in my arm. I was a platelet donor in the days of Fenwal CS 3000. I donated blood one time, and the lady said to me, now let me know if you start feeling weird. And not 10 seconds later, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling weird. And they started dumping ice water on me to keep me from passing out. I did get a free t-shirt out of the deal, though.
After he vomited on her, she just was like, you know what, you can keep that.
No, because they had poured water all over me, so they gave me a dry shirt. And if I remember right, it said on there, like, I was a wuss and got a free t-shirt. No, that's not what it said, but
Accurate, though.
that's what it should have said, yeah. I'm just not a good bleeder.
Well,
I full screened you just in case that thing smoked, but it seems to be holding in there.
yep, everything's just about up to heat. I'd like to know how it was occasionally making it a couple hours into a print before it finally died. Because we're way over. We're not even like, oh, it's it's borderline. Maybe that's what the issue is.
Right.
He did send sample filament, so I didn't have to waste my own. So I guess I should go look for that. I also haven't made any effort to level the bed.
Yeah, who cares about that?
It does have ABL on it, so if ABL is properly, it's close.
Scott Hack Monkey said sold a bunch of plasma in college. Oh, and there's Uncle Ron. Hello, Uncle Ron.
Okay, give me 2 seconds to see if I can find the filament he sent.
I'm debating, should I go fill my cup up again or just ride it out for the half hour with nothing to drink?
Go fill your cup up, dude. Don't go thirsty.
Well, I didn't drink enough water today during the wrenching. So I'm trying to kind of make up for it now.
Let's see what he sent for filament.
All right, I'm gonna meet you guys. I'm gonna go fill my cup.
Let's see. He sent a roll of green and a roll of brown. So I think I'm going to go for the green. Go for the green. Ugh. Oh, any mods that can kick or mute that guy or whatever, send him flying. I don't have easy access to a keyboard and a mouse at the moment. Thanks, Mitch. You're a good guy. I don't care what Glenn says about you when your back is turned. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Just got to get that filament on the spool holder. Where are my flush cutters? Settle down there, Dorothy. I don't think you're in Kansas anymore. Or Arkansas, even. Okay, there we go. Got her. And it broke. How is this stuff that brittle? Come on. Are you back? I thought I heard you unclick.
I am back.
I went to load the filament and it snapped. Because of course it did. Didn't get very far either. Let's see.
So I'm looking down the list and I see a bunch of people that must not have been here on the day when I was just like handing out wrenches.
Just giving them out.
It just got crazy. I was just like, you're a moderator and you're a moderator.
Come on. You know, some of these printers, it's hard enough to feed the filament through the filament path when the extruder's right in front of you. But this one here, I don't know why it's being the way it is, but it is. So let's try that. There we go. See if we can get it fed all the way through this time.
Carl, you are now.
Okay. I think we did it.
Yeah, the day that I did that, like we had a bunch of bots in here, but I just kind of figured, I mean, you are all the same people that show up for all of our streams. We're all family. You should have the ability to kick the bots too. Just don't abuse your power. Don't like kick Mitch accidentally.
I'm just sending the guy a message because the SD card is not in the card reader.
Uncle Ron asked if he'll be able to take a ride in the truck when he's down in 2 weeks. I can't confirm or deny that. It's going to depend on the tuner sending the ECM back. But even then, if I take you for a ride, it'll be just around the property because there's still more to do. Even once the engine's in, there's still more to do.
Let's see what happens.
Tomas! Mr. Maker Viking has joined us. You know, Maker Viking or Viking Maker could work either way.
He's got the bed set to 70 for PLA, which I don't
What if we
like.
tow it behind my truck like a hayride? Oh, it's so close. It's so close to being done. It's in the phase now where everything is nickel and diming me to death, though. Just stupid stuff. Hoses, hose clamps, different, fittings and elbows, and then I ran out of welding gas, and I had to, Friday morning, I ran over and got a fresh tank of welding gas, which suddenly my welds got better. Here I thought I just sucked.
Why can't it be both?
Well, I don't know, because the new gas must have been better. So some people will tell you that welding gas doesn't go bad. Other people will tell you that it does. I believe that if you've had welding gas sitting around for a long time, that you should kind of not necessarily shake the bottle because they're heavy, but you lay them down on the floor and you kind of roll them back and forth, just kind of stir everything up in there. But the gas that was in that bottle, I know, was fairly old. And it was so low, like when you turn the regulator on, the needle would only move like a millimeter. So it's very, very possible that I just wasn't getting any gas out of the bottle at all. And then get the new bottle, and it's like 2,800 PSI of gas, and all of a sudden the welds are just like brilliant. So
it did not auto bed level at all. It did one probe. Yeah, no, it did not.
Got so much amperage. He's like, I don't need the bed level.
Well, I didn't see what the potential error was, but I'm going to start it again just to see if it had an error at bed level. And you think it would just stop, but it probed here, and then it looked like it was starting to probe, and then it immediately started printing. So I don't know if maybe his profile, or maybe this isn't the proper SD card for this machine. He just tossed it in. But I just want to see if an error pops up on the screen. I have had printers that do an auto continue after auto bed leveling, like after probing fails, and the error will pop up on the display. So 613,
612.
Look how nice that red looks.
It looks orange to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're wrong, but that's okay.
Uncle Ron asked, what printer is that?
I don't even remember what it was originally called.
It's the 010.
It's the Booger Miner.
The Booger Builder.
No, it's the Booger Miner. Okay, so here we go. So it probes the middle of the bed for auto bed leveling. Or sorry, for home. Okay. Probing point 1 of 9. And then it just stops. I wonder if the issue is that it's so far off being level
that it can't even see the bed, so it figures it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a little. Let's do an auto home.
It can't count to 9. Yeah, Michael said it almost looks like a Prusa orange on the screen. That's kind of what I thought too.
That's where on my screen it is very, very clearly red, but
what
auto homed?
What red filament is that?
I don't actually remember.
Oh,
this is going back a while at this point.
See, the AIL Robotics red was always my favorite because it was a very red. It wasn't an orangey red. but unfortunately they seem to be gone. Thank you, Thomas, for being here. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, it does not like that. Okay, I think the issue is caused by science. Science has gone too far.
The bed leveling issue.
Yeah, it's all from problems with science. Let's see if that gets us closer.
I just tried the Jesse orange that cannot be named, printed nicely. I don't know if I have that orange. Yeah, I can't help but notice that that David hasn't been to our stream since I canceled my Jesse box. That is some tasty, tasty orange pineapple water.
Why is this not?
I got it at IC3D. Oh, that was the original Jesse filament. I've still got a roll or two of that I haven't even cracked into. The filament piling up. Okay. Is there not an option like out of the menu to tell it to level?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm using the level.
So it's not just from a sliced file.
No.
Have you seen Chuck Hellebuck's electronic bed leveler?
I feel like I did at some point.
So he designed a circuit and like it's got 3D printed parts and stuff, and you use it and the nozzle comes down and clicks on it and it registers your bed height.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Why does orange get it? Because pineapple orange doesn't sound as good as orange pineapple. I'm just saying. And then I found my wife some mango. Did I tell that story? I found my wife some mango, and she likes to make mango pineapple.
Is that mango the Mio?
No, the mango is actually icy brand. But yeah, so now she's burning through the pineapple faster than we're burning through the orange. Sergio says the Alien 3D box has a nice project this month. This month? What? No, this month. Yeah, Josh has always done really good with the Alien box.
Oh, 6 probe points done so far. 7.
And what changed?
I just leveled the bed out better. I think it was so out of level that it because I think there is like a trigger point where it's like, if your bed is this far off, then no prints for you. Let's go ahead and preheat PLA. Nope, didn't do it. I think it's my fault. I think I'm not doing the... Yeah, there we go. I'm not doing the thing.
You got to do the thing. How can it do its thing if you don't do your thing?
Science? Yeah, I was supposed to have a video ready for Tuesday, but it's not going to happen. I built another retro computer, but it is a retro computer that is a true multimedia machine. It does 3.5-inch floppies, 5.25-inch floppies, zip disks, CDs, DVDs, and I'm putting a card reader in it too, so it'll do MMC, SD, obviously micro SD, and compact flash, as well as USB media, and it connects to a Commodore 64 floppy drive,
Interesting.
so you can write out images to actual Commodore 64 floppies and use it on the machine,
On a Commodore machine?
on a Commodore machine.
That's brilliant.
A Commodore machine, if you'll mind the mess, not unlike the one in the middle there.
Wow.
It's got something sitting on the keyboard, but I think you can see it. The monitor and the two floppies next to the Apple II. And then that's an iMac G4 and a random CRT. Oh, here. This is the state of the multimedia machine. Look at all of them. Look at all them drives.
Still has room for more.
Oh, that last open one is where the card reader is going. Well, let's see if it bed levels now that it's actually printing a file. Be nice if it did. I know I personally would like that.
Havoc 2347 said you have to do the thing. How can you not do the thing?
Well, we're on to point 2. I also want to design him a box to cover up all the extra wiring that I left bundled up over here. But I don't think I'm going to bother.
No, just put a towel over it or something. It'll be fine.
Throw a blanket on it. Build a little fence around it.
Just wrap it up with some tape, but not good tape, like blue painter's tape.
So we bandaged up this solution. He put this on here to hold the wires.
We can't
That's
see that.
There's you know those things they use for like building passes where it's retractable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he put one of those on it to hold the wiring in place.
Okay, we can see it functioning. That's actually pretty slick.
And this looks like it's actually pretty decent for the bed positioning, so that's good news. Maybe a little too much squish, but I'm not gonna get too worked up about it right now.
Yeah, I think I will take some time this weekend, try really hard to get the FK1 over here. I'll probably just put it this way for right now so I can start to diagnose that wiring harness. I may have to just rebuild the whole entire wiring harness. So I went with silicone coated wire on that thing so that it was more flexible. And I'm wondering if that is actually worse. Like maybe the wire's too flexible.
Maybe.
Like maybe it needs the PVC insulation to, I don't know. I don't know.
He was complaining about doing this too. Every once in a while, he says for no reason it just goes out to the middle of the bed or to the edge of the bed and then comes back in. Do you see the two lines here?
Huh.
He said he switched slicers and it stopped doing it. I find
what
it weird,
slicer is he using? What slicer was he using?
I think Hero is the one that was having the problem, and when he switched to the Prusa slicer, it didn't do it, but he doesn't like Prusa slicer. It's definitely too close to the bed, and I think it's giving a... He must have a brim on it. I'm going to stop this because it's definitely too close to the bed. This time it just went out sideways.
Mitch said, well, your friend is wrong.
Tell me how you really feel.
Oh, that's just brilliant. Sergio said it's time to look at the G code.
So I think the weird thing was that if you ran the same file twice, it did it in different places.
Huh. Yeah, I got to take some time too and go through and update all my OctoPis. The new version is only going to run on Python 3. And I've been putting off updating it. Because I don't want to. It works. Why would I want to mess with it?
If it ain't broke, fix it till it is.
That's right.
Maybe that's why he's been running at 70. Maybe the bed doesn't work well at 60. It was peeling off a little. Maybe his thermistor's damaged and it's not reporting the proper temperatures. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into this yet.
I don't know.
Hey, you can see our margarita mixer. I built all this nice shelving down here to put stuff, both my stuff and the extra kitchen stuff, not factoring in the fact that the Margaritaville is ridiculously tall and doesn't fit on any of the shelving.
But no,
talk about
there's a
it right now.
script for that, or you can just back up your config FlashLays Octopi. Actually, where is is the script part of Octopi? Because the message that I've seen is that's how you have to do it: is back up all your config, do a fresh install of Octopi, and then restore your configuration. He said it was fairly painless to do. Yeah, I know. It's just taking the time. I have
like
4 of them.
It's like a colonoscopy. Yeah, sure, it's relatively painless, but who wants to go through it?
It's relatively painless while you're knocked out. It's when you come back around that's the problem.
Do they flat out knock you out for them in the States?
Yeah.
Here they do twilight sedation.
Well, that's probably right. Yeah, I just know
you don't remember it.
No, I think you'd always remember that.
So I messaged the guy and I said, "Hey, I found the problem on your printer." And he said, "Did you switch back to my original power supply?" I said, "No." Well, sort of.
Kind of. Uncle Ron said, "James, I'm on my way. I'll bring the tequila."
Just another tequila sunrise. I think the border's open. I think you could actually get here.
Well, I figure, Glenn, that what I'll do is I'll update one of the pies that I don't use as frequently and make sure that it goes well before I do the ones that I use all the time. And by all the time, I mean rarely.
Let's see if that squish is better.
Gotta have the squish.
Now it doesn't look like it's quite enough. I wonder if one of the tune options in here is stepping. Nope.
All I need is another SD card. I got lots of SD cards, so I just lay the SD card next to it and it upgrades itself. I get what you're saying. That's usually how I do it. I usually upgrade one and then just move the cards down the line, but
Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum. No, we need to go config.
I gotta order another Pi. I run Pi-hole. If you're not running Pi-hole, you need to get a Pi-hole. I run Pi-hole here in the house to block ads, but I run it on my Linux server. And the problem then is if I need to reboot my Linux server, I lose my DNS. So I want to actually get a Pi and run Pi-hole on the Pi.
In the hole.
In the hole, yeah. I just like saying Pi-hole. Shut your Pi-hole.
Is that your security blog?
Shut your Pi-hole?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
I don't really want this directly underneath the bed, though, because, I mean, I guess they both technically blow up under the bed and would cool it slightly.
They blow up under the bed.
They blow up under the bed. Kaboom. How do you
Is
say
there enough
kaboom?
room to put a little shroud on there to like redirect the air,
Probably.
or mount them upside down so they blow down?
See, this one's not too bad because it's like out towards the edge. So I think if I install this one on the other side, it'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see if this is the route we go.
Uncle Ron asks, you don't have a secondary DNS? No. So the way Pi-hole works is if you set up a secondary DNS, there's times when it'll just bypass the Pi-hole and go right to your secondary DNS. So my thought is I'm actually going to continue to run Pi-hole on the Linux box, but also have Pi-hole on the Pi. And then one of those two will be my secondary. It's maintaining 2 Pi-holes, but I'm at the point like when I play games on my phone and stuff, I don't want to do it when I'm away from home because I hate ads popping up. And that Pi-hole blocks so much stuff if you configure it properly. So, and the way Pi-hole works, if you don't know, it becomes your primary DNS. It serves to you, and then it blocks what it wants to block, but it uses whatever your DNS is. So like if you use your provider's DNS or Google or whatever, you tell the Pi-hole that's your DNS. So you're not actually running a full DNS inside a Pi-hole. It's just kind of a stepping stone in between to block out ads. Mainly those irritating ones on YouTube.
Yeah, none of those content creators need money. Also, use my affiliate link.
I would. No, I won't say it that way. I'm going to say it this way. I look forward to the day that Fun King Garage is big enough that I am generating income without having to run ads. I would rather serve my content to the people who want to watch it without having any ads in it at all.
Other than sponsorships where you go, this is sponsored by so-and-so.
Well,
Stuff that can't be skipped.
Even that I want to be very careful. In fact, Sean and I we were just talking about that yesterday. Like I hate when you're watching a video and they're like, today's video is sponsored by a certain VPN company who seems to be sponsoring everybody. And I said, like, it doesn't have anything to do with the content of the video. Like they'll just have anybody. And it's like, it would have to be an obscene amount of money.
What if it is an obscene amount of money and that's why they're everywhere?
If it's an obscene amount of money, then I would do it. And somewhere in the video, I would just say, hey, I did that because it's an obscene amount of money.
I don't think they'll approve and pay you out for the ad if you do that.
No. I wouldn't do it like directly like that. Like.
Oh, tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Anthony informed me that if you put your phone in airplane mode and turn off Wi-Fi, you don't get ads on the phone. You also don't get any of your online content. No, the garage isn't big enough. when you see some of the conditions that I'm working in, you're gonna feel really sorry for me.
Negatory.
This whole the last 2 days of working was pretty much back working on the floor because my truck is still hogging up the lift bay. Someday I'll be special enough and have 2 lifts. Yeah, well, so we figured out not necessarily the cause, but we did figure out what the problem is.
Yep. My
But-
original diagnosis was correct, but the reason for it is different.
I almost think it would be worth picking up a new heat bed.
Well, it's going to be up to him and what he wants to put into
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. To see if it actually cures the problem, like if it is the heat bed.
I mean, it makes sense to me that it is, based on the tests. And the
Oh,
fact
well-
that it's currently running with a second power supply connected to it.
Well, right, yeah, exactly. But again, that just feels like a band-aid solution.
Yeah, because that bed may continue to get worse.
Right, like we didn't really fix it. We just patched it. I mean, we just made it work. And maybe that's fine too. I mean, but I think one bigger power supply would be a better option than.
Oh, see, he was right. Look, it's running the exact same G code. I'm running the same file, but it hasn't done that thing yet. And it's also not sticking to the bed now.
Weird. Uncle Ron, yes, kind of, maybe. The Dodge carcass is gone. I sold the cabin bed and a few of the interior parts. The rest of the interior parts are in storage in the garage currently. The frame is sitting on my car trailer in the yard. In the yard.
Yeah, it was not stuck down very well at all. I don't think I have any. So I have alcohol, but I don't think I have any more paper towel down here.
Listen. We need you to be sober during this.
No, we don't. I didn't sign anything. Give me 1 second, although I think it's probably, yeah, we're 22 almost. It's just about, I mean, it's past that time, but I want to say it's just about that time.
Yeah,
But I'm going to try.
2 hours, 2 minutes so far.
I'm going to give myself 2 more minutes just to give this a wipe down. Although, I mean, we can wrap up now. No, sorry about the bouncing. It really depends on how much of a hurry you are to get out of here.
Well, I ate right before the stream, so I'm not hungry.
Let's give this thing a good and proper wipe down. Some alcohol. I thought it was dusty, but I think it's the texture in the bed. And let's go back to config and bring it down some more. 2.9.
I like to run the nozzle directly into the bed and then bring it up like 0.1.
That makes sense. Just burn a hole right into it just to...
Yeah, that way you know where it is.
No, it's like that doctor that was burning his initials into people's livers or whatever.
Right, yeah. What's wrong
Did you
with
hear about that guy?
Can't see it.
Did you hear about that guy?
No.
Yeah, he would when he did organ work, he would put his signature on the organ before he sewed the person up. And I guess somebody had to have more work done and went back and it was a different doctor and they found it. So now he's been disbarred. Or not disbarred, that's not the right word, but can't practice medicine anymore.
Right.
Which on one side I'm like, if it's not damaging the person and he was a good surgeon, then he's probably doing more good than harm. However, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean,
It's
that would be like you take your car in for an oil change and the mechanic, signs his name on the frame of your car. No, not acceptable.
But like, how many houses have been built where the people building it sign their names on a stud or whatever?
I do it, and everything that I build, my signature is somewhere.
There you go.
But that's not somebody's liver.
I know. I hear what you're saying.
Glenn Hogue said that oil pressure sensor will have to wait for another day. Too dark and too cold now. You're welcome, sir.
We help you procrastinate. Not amateur. I don't know how to say this without it sounding inappropriate, so I'm just going to stop.
Maybe that's what we should have named this stream instead of Project Talk, like the 2 hours of procrastination.
No, we'll just call it procrastination.
Professional crastinations. Why is that thing so slow?
I don't know. Science? Yeah, I'll give him the option. I'm gonna be like, everything is working, and I can button it back up, and you can have it back. And I have no idea how long it's going to work for. It may work forever. It may not get any worse. It may be a single, something happened, and the situation isn't going to get any worse.
Well, I mean, like technically, the bed might have quote unquote broken in, and that's just where it's going to be now. You know.
Yep.
Or
Who
it may get
knows?
worse and then eat up more power than that. So that's two 350 watt.
Well, one's 350 and one's 360. So we got 710 watts of total potential power.
But the way you have it wired, did you tie the positives together as well?
No, just the negatives.
Okay, so then the bed has got the 360.
Yes.
And then so let's see what that does for us, shall we?
I am considering now, like as I do the final setup, actually tying the positives and the negatives together, so it'll have access to 700 and some watts altogether total.
Yeah, because the way it is, if the resistance hits 1.6, that's going to eat up 360 watts. But you said it was at 1.5, right?
Yeah. I did say that. And I meant it.
Oh, I just can't remember because I'm old and I forget things. Yeah, at 1.5 ohm, that thing should be eating 384 watts on its own, which would be exceeding that power supply already. Huh. That just doesn't make sense. Did it not go again?
Now it's too close. I put it back to where it was originally and thought that the problem was just the fact that I hadn't wiped down the bed because it's been sitting there, and I was like, well, I haven't touched it all, but it's been sitting there for a couple of weeks, so it's collected dust. But I know I probably should have. Well, no, I definitely should have leveled everything properly. I'm being lazy, and it's ended up costing more time than anything.
Look at Glenn throwing something in at us. He said that assumes that the resistance is constant with temperature. I didn't really think about that. Huh.
I just hit 555 subscribers on Print and Play Retrospective.
Nice. 555.
I have a thing for numbers like that.
It's a great chip, the 555. I'm almost out of water again, so.
Well, this will be starting again in. Oh, it just hit temperature, so we'll give it 1 minute. We'll see where it's at, and people probably aren't going to see the results anyway, so it's not too big of a deal.
No,
we can wrap it up now.
Nobody wants to wait around that long. Well, we can start to wrap it up. You got anything you want to plug?
I'm hoping to have a video out this week. It was supposed to be Tuesday. It might be Thursday now if everything goes well. We'll see how my my time situation works out. But print and play retrospective, and I am working on a video for the main channel, which is 3D printing and electronics. So that'll be out next week if everything goes well, and it is sponsored by PCBWay. So Glenn's gonna not watch the video.
Well, I don't have anything against them.
No, I meant because it's sponsored. You're saying how much you hate when somebody says, "Oh, it was mostly." You said it was mostly a certain VPN company, right?
Yeah, it's well, it's not even necessary. I'm not even necessarily picking directly on the VPN company. It's when the sponsor has nothing to do with what you're watching.
Yeah.
Like I watch probably 90%, well, until I discovered Mr. Ballin, but I was watching 90% automotive related stuff. And then, like this video is brought to you by Simply Safe. Those people couldn't pay me enough to put that garbage in my house. Well, I guess if it was a ridiculous amount of money, I might. But yeah, as far as me, I guess I won't have a video out this week. I forgot Sean's he's got a paid gig this week. I don't know what he's doing right now. He could be getting the video ready. Gosh. But definitely want to get it out very soon. It is it's technically ready. Like I said, we just have to change the music at the end. It wasn't peppy enough for me. So and then we're hoping that they're going to be pretty regular. They're already filmed. We have stuff that we have to film to fill in, whatever. You don't need all the dirty details.
You need to add more fiber to it if it's not regular.
That's right. The project is technically almost completed, pending if it actually works. I mean, what do I know? I'm not a professional. I just play one on YouTube.
Does it look like it's going to work?
What's that?
Does it look like it's going to work?
Oh, yes. It looks like it's going to work really, really well. What's really stupid is that Cummins engine fits in that Ford truck so well that it almost seems like it was meant to be there. And now I just want to put Cummins diesels in everything. And in fact, a story came across my newsfeed this week where somebody put a Cummins 12 valve in an S10 pickup truck. And my first thought was, well, did they put it in the bed? But they didn't. It was under the hood, and it actually fit in there. I mean, that thing is monstrous. It's monstrous, but otherwise, yeah, that's the way it goes. If we move these streams, I don't know if I want to move these streams over to the other channel yet. Not yet. Eventually. My only thought is I hate to start streaming this over there when that hasn't been established yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
it may lead to people unsubscribing because it's completely unrelated content.
Yeah, because they don't want to listen to me just blabber on for.
You'd have to stop streaming out in your garage, so you could show stuff while you were doing it.
Yeah, and it's either hot out there or it's cold out there. There's no in between. I mean, it's only in like it might be a little colder now, but it was in like the 50s today. But it felt like it was absolutely just frigid. Well, it was 57 degrees at 1:57. Let's see what it is now, because talking about the weather is always come on, update. Just update already. Gosh. I'm still having that problem with my phone where it loses the Wi-Fi. It's probably time for a new phone. The speaker also sounds like this. Anytime the speaker is on, it's all muffled and like it's got crap stuck in it. 57 currently. But it's like real damp and nasty outside, so it feels cold.
I just thought of the only reason why he might want to stick with the current bed. He's got his flex plate system installed on it. So not only you have the cost of the bed, you're also at the cost of a new flex plate. Because I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's. Well, maybe you can find somebody that sells just the magnet. I don't think it's going to stick well if he tries to peel it off and put it down on something new.
Right.
probably not the kind of thing you want to be playing with.
Sergio says it's 28 degrees here now. We had what, 2 weeks ago? It was 27 degrees when I woke up, and in Florida, that's just not normal. I guess that was a week and 2 days ago. But all right, well, does it look like it's printing?
It does look like it's printing.
All right, bye everybody. Oh no. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Whether you are here live, which we really appreciate, or if you watch it later, that's also appreciated. Don't click through the ads. Watch them. I need your 6 cents of income. No. I don't even know how I have the ads set up. If you guys ever watch one of my videos and you find an ad in the middle where like the ad pops in the middle, please notify me because I have that set to not do that because it annoys the crap out of me. And then sometimes it turns itself on because Google likes to do stuff like that. So Glenn Hogue said you could simulcast on both channels. YouTube says, nope, you're not allowed to do that. Supposedly you get in trouble for doing that, but whatever. We'll move over there eventually because I have a feeling that Fun King 3D is going to go quiet. But who knows? Who knows?
Ever since you lost Anderson Thursday.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. There's so many things, and we can have that whole discussion another time. But again, thank you to each of you for tuning in. We love each and every one of you. You guys are important to us, and we love that this has become such a great community. It's small, doesn't matter. It's a great community. I like looking up the chat and just seeing all those wrenches. A wrench for you, and a wrench for you, and you get a wrench. So, thank you. We will. I don't think there's anything going on next week, so we should be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys still on live? Well, we're leaving now. Gosh, you don't have to push us out. Thank you, and as always, until next time, print on.
Print on.